It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from Burger King, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a burger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
We off?
30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes!
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz, spritz.
Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
You're listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast, episode 312. Netflix's Twilight Midnight Sun animated series announced. Hold on tight, Spider Monkey. Welcome to the Animation Addicts Podcast with the Rotoscopers, the #1 place to get your animation fix with animation addicts just like you. Each episode, we dive into the wonderful world of animation featuring Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, and everything in between. From hilarious discussions and movie reviews to interviews with industry insiders, this show's mission is to brighten your day through our love of animation. So hop on your nerdy couch, grab some snacks, and get ready to hang out with your animation besties because it's time to dive into today's episode. Hey there, animation addicts. I'm Morgan Stradling.
And I'm Chelsea Robson.
And we have an emergency podcast for you. This news...
I mean, it's on schedule, but emergency input.
Yes,
on our case.
We already have recorded episode 312, which is the Garfield movie, but we felt that needed to be bumped in lieu of this new information that Netflix has announced that they are making an animated adaptation of Stephenie Meyer's novel Midnight Sun. So if you don't know about Midnight Sun basically is Twilight, the world phenomenon, epic romance,
sparkly romance.
But since we are not a Twilight podcast, we don't talk about it that much, but this Midnight Sun is Twilight from Edward's perspective. So it's kind of a spin-off novel, but it goes through the same events as the original Twilight. But since it's Edward, we get to see a lot of different perspectives of him and the Cullen family and where he goes and who he talks to and his side of how that romance blossomed from there. So this actually came out in 2020. This originally, Midnight Sun was something that Stephenie Meyer was going to release alongside the original novels. So those came out in kind of the mid-2000s, 2005 through 2008, I think the last one came out. And what she did is she had this idea for this Midnight Sun, this Edward's telling of Twilight, and she worked on it, and just for bad decisions and bad people involved in this, she put it online.
No, it just got leaked. Somebody else leaked it online.
It got leaked online, like the first 13 or so chapters. And this just broke her heart because obviously she had trusted someone with this and they totally let her down. And she let the fans down, to be honest, because at that point she said, fine, no more. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this.
Done.
Yes, and all the fans just jaw dropped because this was like the height of Twilight.
Oh, yeah.
It's at least the book part of it, right? Because the books hadn't even been fully released yet, or at least the last one finally had been released. And so hearing that, this thing that she had been teasing very actively on her website and talking about was, nope, I'm not going to do this anymore. She just shelved it. She said, I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to it. And then suddenly, randomly, in 2020, in the midst of the global pandemic, she released this book. And I feel we were totally gypped with Midnight Sun because of the pandemic, we didn't get the opportunity to do the classic midnight releases, which would have been amazing. But it came out, and
I went to Walmart the night before being like, hey, are you guys doing some kind of release for this? And the guy looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, I see the books right there. Can I just take one? He's like, no, you have to come back tomorrow.
That is so funny. Yeah, if it would have been in 2019, it would have been a whole different story. But I'm honestly, okay, so now let's talk about this. We had heard that there was a Twilight TV series in the works, and that's pretty exciting. I mean, people really love the original films for what they are and what they've turned into. And so people get apprehension when there's something being adapted again, which I get. We've seen Spider-Man done a million times. We've seen like the Marvel and like the Fantastic Four. It seems like, and all the Justice League things, like they're constantly being rebooted. Harry Potter is being turned into a TV series by Warner Brothers with J.K. Rowling involved. And people, you think, like, does it need to be done? Do we need it? But this is interesting because it's a twist. It's not necessarily Twilight. We're not redoing the movie franchise, but it's this other avenue, this kind of branch of Twilight that wasn't really covered in the movies. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Midnight Sun being, let's just talk about being adapted. I guess we'll talk about this other bombshell that came when this was officially announced, is that it's going to be an animated series.
Well, let's just start with my distaste for Midnight Sun. Because that's the only thing that I really want to say right now.
Okay.
Is I felt like, I definitely read the leaked version when it came out, and I think you judged me on that. Like, how dare you?
Oh, I read it too. What are you talking about? That is fake news. I also read it, and I did not judge.
But I totally read it. I read first leaking online, and I was like, okay, I totally understand what you're doing, but it is just kind of like the other side of the story. But I feel like when she actually came out and did a whole Midnight Sun years after having put it aside and shelving it and saying it was never a thing, only to give us a random countdown on her website in the middle of a pandemic, was like, what the? Anyway, so the reason why I was not a fan of Midnight Sun is because I felt like she could have done so much more with it. And I think by the time that all of the books had come out, all of the movies had come out, it'd been years since the whole thing. I think she could have really dug into a lot deeper things as far as Edward's history and built up characters more and built up things. And I understand that she was like, oh no, but Edward thinks that his life was just nothing until Bella came. I'm like, you are a freaking vampire, killing people at night because you think that they are slaughtering others. So he definitely has motives and he has different things. You could have gone way deeper into this and created much more of a mystery heist or what, I don't know, whatever onto this movie, instead of just starting up again right where you ended off with what was leaked. And it was I really wish you would have gone way deeper into the pre-Bella time period than just literally the time period of
the whole point
Twilight.
Of the book was it's Twilight.
I understand
the events
Morgan,
of Twilight from his perspective. It's not, so
because it was just a rehashing of it all, and I really wanted something more, and so that's my beef. Let me have my beef. Okay.
I will counter that, and I will say that it has the guardrails of its Twilight, the events that happen in Twilight. So really, Twilight begins with Bella and leaving Arizona, coming to Forks, and everything that happens there. So for the most part, you really can't deviate from that timeline. And I'm fine with that. And that's kind of what
you could.
You could, but that's
she
not
can do whatever she wants.
That's not what the expectation was of this book from simply from a different character's perspective. And so they do that, and we get to see different, he goes to Denali, and he goes and visits lots of characters in different areas. There's moments where he's gone for multiple days, weeks at a time. And so we get to see, where was he? Where did he go? What was he thinking? Right. And personally, I had no problem with it. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun to see the different side. The bottle cap, if you know, the bottle cap. And I thought it was great. So it definitely lived up to what I was looking forward to. I wasn't expecting anything other from it. I wasn't expecting a prequel to Twilight, but I will say she said, we're done with this. It would be amazing if she did New Moon from Edward's perspective, because that's a book where he is gone and who knows where the heck he is. He's there at the beginning, he's there at the end. What happened in between?
She has said multiple times that all he really did was just hide in a basement or hide in some little random place in Brazil. He never changed his clothes. He was just in this hole for months.
Yeah, true. Okay, we might have to put this in the bloopers because we're really
no, this is important.
We're losing. No. I mean, we're burying the lead here. The lead is that it's going. The lead is that it's an animated series that's going to be on Netflix.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does without me lifting a finger, so I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Support comes from ServiceNow. We're for people doing the creative work they actually want to do. That's why this ad was written and read by a real person and not AI. You know what people don't want to do? Boring, busy work. Now with AI agents built into the ServiceNow platform, you can automate millions of repetitive tasks in every corner of your business, IT, HR, and more, so your people can focus on the work that they want to do. That's putting AI agents to work for people. It's your turn. Visit ServiceNow.com.
More rewards, more savings. With American Express Business Gold, earn up to $395 back in annual statement credits on eligible purchases at select shipping, food delivery, and retail subscription merchants. Enjoy the benefits of membership with the Amex Business Gold Card. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
Yes. I'm actually happy that they are taking this route as opposed to rebooting with different characters live action, because I don't know, it's just so hard. I wouldn't mind if they redid Twilight with different actors, because I just feel like Kristen Stewart was not Bella.
She was not.
Like
and Edward was not, and Robert Pattinson was really not Edward. He was not in it. His heart wasn't in it. He didn't really give his whole into it, I feel. He
didn't go to the gym.
He didn't go to the gym, which is like, can you not just put like 2 ounces of effort? Like, I love the Twilight series, and I love what it is, but it's not what it should have been. I feel like it was significantly miscast, but that's what we got because Catherine Hardwicke was involved with the first one, and it was really this indie thing. And so it is what it is. However, where it ended up going because of how successful the series was in the first movie, it didn't really, like, it was hard to carry it, I feel. And so with this being an animated series, I've seen people in the comments say, oh, they have to bring Robert Pattinson back. They must. And I'm like, no, they do not, because he would not, one, he wouldn't do it. And 2,
he's Batman, for goodness sake.
He's Batman. He's moved on. But he wouldn't do the, like, sultry, just not lovey, but I'd say just this enticing, draw you in Edward. He wasn't ever that in the movie, and that was disappointing.
As much as we love him, and we do. But yeah, these were things like, if you're looking at it specifically from the book's retelling perspective, the characters that they put in there, it was Catherine Hardwicke. And there's a couple people that I am totally fine with their casting, and there's other people that nobody was ever really happy with their casting.
Rosalie.
Yeah. So anyway, this is actually exciting to me, because I would like to see this retelling. I am a Twilight stan forever. That's just what it is. And I remember I dated somebody who was like, he's like, I could never like somebody who liked Twilight. And I'm like, well, I guess we're done.
We're done. See you later. Yeah, so it's interesting. There's a few big things here. Netflix, animated series, TV series, and Midnight Sun. So we kind of talked about the Midnight Sun of it all. It being a TV series is interesting. I really like that. It would love to be this teen drama. Remember, like, Smallville and these shows back in the day, they had these, now the norm are these seasons of 8 to 10 episodes. And I'm sure that's what this is going to be, because that's the new business model. But back in the day, you had TV shows that had 20 to 24 episodes, and it allowed so much more time to breathe, get to know the characters. Some episodes were really low stakes, but it was more for just character building and for you to just understand and build that world. My dream would for this to be a 20 plus episode, but because it's animated and just the time and the restraints that come with animation, I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's probably going to be 8 to 10 episodes. If it were live action, which I'm not opposed to a live action version of this, I think you could have had like the more 2000 style teen drama that were longer, just had more fluff episodes. We get to see Bella kind of working at the recreation store, some of these things that we didn't get to see, or, just other episodes where who knows what Edward is doing, right? But I think it's going to be a little bit more tight. Not as tight as a movie would be, but we're going to get a lot more time to breathe.
Yes. As far as the animation side goes, why is it that when I picture this as animation, like my head just goes to like the 1960s Jetsons style running where you just see like wheels as legs.
Oh no. Don't put that out there. Like the goofy sound effect with it. See, that's funny.
It's kind of how the running was in the movies, because it was just like
yeah, they struggled trying to adapt that onto screen. So when I hear animated series, my mind instantly goes to anime. Like I feel like this as an anime, because there was that anime or manga version of Twilight that was released. It's actually kind of hard to find now, but there was an artist that she found that was doing, I believe, was doing art, or she liked her art, and then they commissioned this book that was kind of a manga of Twilight. And so I don't know, I guess because that's kind of stuck in my head, I imagine this being anime style. It'd be cool if it was maybe a hybrid, sort of like Legend of Korra, Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it's kind of a blend of the Western and Eastern animation styles. If it were more of something that I just thought of now, it could be CGI, which I feel like that you don't want this to seem kiddie.
No.
So that's a struggle. So getting the animation style right, it could maybe be something like Tangled the series, that sort of animation style, which is more of like, it's 2D look, but it's kind of this maquette puppet animation where you just kind of move the, Daniel Tiger has that, and a lot of TV shows actually do. But the problem with this, hey, they announced this, amazing, but we get no information other than Netflix, Midnight Sun, animated series. That's it. So there's lots of speculation happening. Who knows who, what, when, where? We do know a little bit of who. There are just gobs of executive producers on this. So we have Stephanie Meyer. We have Megan Hibbett, who... Stephanie Meyer has this film production company called Ficklefish Films. So this is her partner with that. Wyatt Godfrey, who was the executive producer for the Twilight movies. Marty Bowen.
I remember his face.
Yeah, from all the bonus features and whatnot. Yeah.
Right.
Marty Bowen, Temple Hill Entertainment. So obviously one of the companies involved. Eric Feig from Picture Start. Sammy Kim Palde from Picture Start as well. Saneed Daly, who is going to executive produce, but he's also going to write the series. So this guy has written or been involved with Tell Me Lies, The Walking Dead World Beyond, Raised by Wolves, and Get Down. So interesting. Oh, this is a woman. Okay, that's what I was going to say, is like the writer for the films was a woman, and she very much understood the source material and respected the fans. And this is a woman as well. Cinead? She's... interesting. So I like this. I think this needs to be written from a female perspective. Even though it's Edward, the whole series as a whole is very female-centric. So you have to understand that mindset and what those characters... This is the audience. The audience is women. Yeah. Let's be real. There's going to be men who are interested, that are going to watch it, but as a whole, this is women. So I like that. I don't necessarily feel that you have to have a woman who writes for women characters, or I don't believe in that. But for Twilight particularly, it feels right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just got done watching The Discovery of Witches on Netflix. Have you heard of
No,
this one?
I've heard of it. I think it's a book, right? That
Yes, it's a series of books. I have not read the books. I just watched the whole thing while I'm here because why not? And some stuff like that. It's like, okay, like there's a lot of Twilight style like key moments in the whole thing where it's like this happens the same way that this happened. Like it's just okay. I feel that's like a Twilight-ish type thing, but I feel like you really do have to know what it's going to be the same audience that went for that would go for this as well. I would really like it to be more of an anime style just because I feel like of all of the
it's very
of all the
popular
animation
with Gen Z
yes.
and young group. Yeah. So, I mean, that's already something that Gen Z is very interested in. So you're going to be introducing Twilight to a newer demographic in addition to the one that already exists, who are now in their 30s, 40s.
Yes. But also, I feel like they are one of the major animation styles that really understand fantasy right now. And that's what this is. Like it's a vampire thing, but it's fantasy and it is you have to be able to lie in the meadow with me, Bella, kind of thing. It's just like, okay. I have a lot of fond memories going back with Twilight. So I'm happy about the continuation of this. As I was reading, I had forgotten how much money this whole series made. Over $3 billion on the whole thing. Like you could not when we went to Comic-Con and we're in the hall H, is that what it is? And they had the Twilight panel and we were like, oh my gosh, 6,000 people there just for Twilight. Like, I'm glad Stephanie Meyer has a chance to kind of just continue and move forward. So I'm happy about this.
I mean, it's encouraging. You know, you sometimes you wonder, do these authors get so jaded? They love their work, but it just becomes too much. You know, and she kind of had 10 plus years. Well, she was doing stuff with Twilight. In 2015, for the 10-year anniversary, she released gender swap version of Twilight. And then 5 years later, she did Midnight Sun. So it might seem like, oh, she's totally over this, but she's been releasing a little bit here and there relating to Twilight, indicating that she hasn't totally, moved on and just is enjoying her life of luxury in Cave Creek, Arizona. That's a fun fact. She lives just pretty close to us. And just enjoying her life with her spoils from, all the revenue she's made. She obviously still owns the rights to these characters and whatnot and was looking for an opportunity. So I just want to know more. I want to know what led you to decide TV series, animation. Obviously Netflix is a big player in animation right now and just in general. And I've talked about my distaste for Netflix as a distribution model for movies, but for a TV series like this, I really have no problem with it. To me, for TV series, it's on par with the other big networks, especially since HBO with Game of Thrones kind of changed everything, where these paid for channels had these exclusive TV series that ended up being huge phenomenons. So that's kind of normal. You see with Stars and Outlander, like some of these other paid for channels have their thing. So seeing this on Netflix, I think is fine. It would be shocking nowadays if they're like, debuting on the WB network. That's not a thing anymore. Right. But it'd be like, what? ABC, Friday night at 7 p.m. Check out the premiere. The world has changed from that era.
I also think that going with Netflix is the best option when you're comparing all of the options. One, Netflix just knows how to do all of the things. Like, they've just been in the game longer. They are the ones that have the most success.
They have deep pockets.
They have deeper pockets. Nobody has deep pockets in this industry, but they have deeper pockets, and they've got definitely more of the audience that would like this are more inclined to go with Twilight or to go with Netflix. So I feel like that was a good choice going with them. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've spewed most of what I know. I can spew.
That's all we can really say about this. There's just not much more other than that. So very interesting. We will stay tuned and keep our eyes peeled for information about this. Now, this is a TV series, so we typically don't go into the world of TV series too much, but how could you not with this one? Although I will say the only person I'm fine with them bringing back is Taylor Lautner to do the voice of Jacob. That's the only person who I want back. Bella or Kristen Stewart, you can go. Robert, you can go. Really, everyone else except for maybe Daddy Cullen, he can stay. And Bella's dad. I'd be fine if he came back as Bella's dad, but
he's so great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
Billy Burke.
So I liked Ashley Greene, so if she came back, I'd be fine with that. Billy Burke was just that character, man. That'll be a very soft spot when it goes.
But that's the thing is, like, you can't cherry pick these characters from the movie, and it's just like seems like such a diss to some of the other ones who weren't brought back. But let's be real, friend. Kristen and Rob don't want to come back. They're like, if they got the call for this, they said no thanks, goodbye.
Yeah, I'd be fine with Anna Kendrick though.
No, she wouldn't. She kind of sees this as below her when you kind of look at interviews and whatnot. It was a stepping stone for her career, and it was amazing for her career, but she is definitely below. Twilight is below her.
Helen Luntz, I'm good with. Yeah, those are like the main ones that I mean, Jackson Rathbone. There's the Kellen Lynch, Jackson Rathbone, and Ashley Greene really do hit up the circuits. So if they brought them back, I'd be fine. Like, there's nothing really.
So we'll be interested to see. No date on this. You're going to hear people speculating on release date. I've seen articles that said, late 2025, early 2026. And I looked at the press releases. I'm not sure where they are getting that because there was no indication. This is just announced that this is happening. The lead cycles and the production time for animated series is obviously pretty long. So this probably has been in the works a while. I wouldn't be surprised if early episodes are being animated right now. You know, the fact that they are announcing this, it's probably
they've been working on it for a while.
It's moving forward. If they announce, exactly. They've been working for a while, and it would be really weird if they announced it and then, because of the animation timeline, then it would be, a year plus 2 years before we even get anything. So if we get something in 2025, that feels right, but I can't make any predictions on late, early, mid. No.
Yeah. So we'll see what comes of that. That'll be interesting. Indeed. Yeah, no, I feel like this is good. Like, the moving forward in any direction on this is like, okay, all right, like step by step. So far, I'm good.
And with that, so the lion fell in love with the lamb.
What a stupid lamb.
What a sick, masochistic lion. So there you have it, folks. That's what we're looking into. If you need voice actors, Stephanie, you know where to find me.
Right.
Rotoscopers.com. If you want to leave your thoughts, go to rotoscopers.com/312. And just a quick update before we close off the show. We still are working on the Patreon program, so stay tuned for that for future episodes. And for our ranking episode, I'm going to pass that over to Chelsea because she has all the deets.
I do have all the deets. So basically, last week I said you should go to rotoscopers.com/besthouse if you want to partake in or participate in the survey to help us decide which houses were going to be the best for the best animated castle, house, or abode. But I got on a little bit of a roll, and I decided that we will do a few of these types of episodes coming up for Nerdy Couch discussions. Why? Because they are just that much fun, right? So I went in and I created a new page on the website called the ranking and tier listing page. And so you can go to rotoscopers.com/rank. And I've gotten all of the episodes that were a Nerdy Couch discussion where we talked about and made a list of some kind, or we did a rank list tier ranking of some kind of like the best of this and best of that. So on the bottom of that page, I have already made a couple different links where you can just go and click on the different surveys that you want to participate in for the episodes. If you want to stay in the know of what surveys and what rankings and what other episodes are coming up, below that is a sign-up form where you can put in your name and email address. So if there's like a survey available and we want to send it out to people and you want to just be in the know on what's happening, give us your email and that's what will happen. We will start sending those emails out so that everybody has a chance to be caught up and not miss out on any of those fun episodes that are going to be a lot of fun. So yay. Those are the deets.
Thank you for joining us for this emergency podcast where we were talking about the Twilight animated series. This is fun. I would like to do more of this. in more of a live stream weekly format where we can talk about breaking news and different things, that are kind of fall outside of our normal podcast stuff. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can do more of this soon. In the meantime, give this show a 5-star rating on Apple iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen. We really appreciate it. It helps support the show, helps others find the show. Share this show with your friends. And until next time, we are the Rotoscopers.
Version from Bella.
Yeah.
And
wait, we've started?
No, but I mean, we can.
Oh, you sounded like a semi
well, I'm just
voice.
Talking. I'm just talking right now. I'm reading these different things and I'm like, ugh. Much better.
My sexy Edward voice.
Yes.
Oh, I have so much to say. Okay. I'll go first.
Why is it that when I think of I'm going to have to save this for later.
Yes, save all the funny things for later.
You've been listening to the Animation Addicts podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to leave us a 5-star review. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to help spread the word, be sure to share the podcast with your friends on social media. Just don't forget to tag us at Rotoscopers on Instagram and use the hashtag AnimationAddicts. For all the links and full show notes for this episode, go to rotoscopers.com/podcast. Now, if you still can't get enough for your animation fix, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and visit rotoscopers.com for more animation news, reviews, and interviews. Thanks for listening.